Hi everybody. So I just went to San Flax, which is a local art store that we have here in Orlando. It looks like it's in Atlanta too. And I bought some new art supplies that I wanted to try out because I'm trying some new things with my sketches. And I thought it would be a good idea to try a couple new pencils and things. So I thought, hey, it'll be kind of fun to do a little video about that. So yeah, let's see what I got. I got some pencil lengtheners. So the package came with 3. All right. Draw a little eyeball. Looks good. I'm still holding it kind of in the same spot, but the important thing about having this is that the weight is distributed properly, and then if I wanted to go back to make some different marks, I could. So it really is about kind of like the distribution of the weight on your hand when it comes to this sort of thing. So, and I have 3 of them now, so that was a good buy. Another thing I got is a pencil sharpener. I do have an electric pencil sharpener over here off camera that I use when I'm at my art desk, but when I'm at a con or I'm traveling, my options are really limited. So I got this. So first thing I like about it is that it's got a really nice big compartment for lots of pencil shavings, which is always good because my current travel one is very small, so I constantly have to be refilling it, and that's always a pain in the butt. All right, so, oh, also nice. You can open and close it and it stays attached. And I see 2 different holes. Doesn't really say which one is which. I'm trying to eyeball it to see. Okay, this feels like it's the wider one to the right. So I have a very small. Oh, there's a picture. I see it now. Okay. So it's really hard to see, but there's actually a little picture that shows you. So this one's got a very small stubby end, which would probably be good for thicker pencils. I really want the long pointy end, which is the other side. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see if we can get it even longer. Yep. Maybe not as sharp as I would like. I mean, maybe it's just because I just sharpened it on that short end, but it's gradually getting longer and longer. Maybe I'm just being picky, but I mean, the edges, you can get a very small line. So pencil sharpener, goodbye. Typically when I'm drawing, I use a Tombow chestnut brown to give my traditional drawings that kind of sepia look, and that's kind of like this light brown color. However, the supplier that I used to buy them from on Amazon stopped stocking big packages of them, so I have to buy them individually now, which is really expensive, and I tend to go through them really quickly. So I'm trying out some new pencils. So these are Prismacolor Premier. I've got 2 dark brown ones. So let's just have one for now. So I picked up this one because it's like a darker color, more of like a mocha, which I kind of liked. It doesn't smudge very much. So that's like another thing I'm trying to consider with some new things I'm going to try is how much the pencils will smudge, because I kind of like sometimes when you can get kind of a smudgy effect, because it can help with kind of like creating shadows. So say for example, I want to give this little creature some shadow right here. It's harder to go in there and smudge it. So this would probably be more of like a liner or a drafting pencil that I would use. This one I'm actually really interested to try out. This is a Prismacolor Verithin in dark brown. I also got 2 of those. These were not sharpened at the store, so I couldn't try them out. So this will be the first time I try it. Alright, so now it's nice and sharp with my electrical sharpener off to the side. Oh, that's interesting. So it definitely feels more graphite-y. Let's see, does it? Oh, it really does not like smudging at all. Does not want to smudge. So you can get some good clean lines with this. Let's try it with the Tortillion. It's hard to smudge. So good clean lines with the Verithins. Let's see how it erases. Ooh, these are going to be hard to erase. So this would be like your more finished drawing type of phase, because if you compare that to the Tombows, actually, maybe this eraser just stinks. So that's the Verithin. The next one I have is a Prismacolor Col-Erase. I actually have some of these already, but I wasn't sure what color I have. Turned out I got the same color I already have. So it definitely feels more waxy than the Verithin, as opposed to graphite-y feels more grainy. And these you can erase on the surface, but as you can see, it still leaves behind, because it's a really dark color, it still leaves that color behind on the paper. So again, this would be for the final phases of drawing. Let's see how it is with smudging. So let's give this heart some shadows, shall we? Well, you get some nice smudginess in there. Yeah, so this one has some good smudging abilities without having it like over here with the Verithin. You can see the strokes. This one, it smudges a lot differently. Also, it makes a difference on how heavy your mark is. As you can see here, when the mark is heavier, it doesn't smudge the same. This one I got just for fun, Prismacolor Metallic Gold, because I love gold and shiny things. Now, I already have a Tombow Gold, so let's compare the two, see which one looks better. So this is the Tombow Gold I already had. So it's a much more kind of, just kind of looks like yellow. It doesn't really shimmer too much, any differently than a regular pencil. Alright, so it's a much cooler gold, but to me, I can definitely see a difference in like the shininess. It definitely looks more metallic. I don't know if you can see in the video. Definitely looks more metallic versus just being a colored pencil on the paper. So Tombow has a very nice color to it, but the Prismacolor has a very nice shine. And I believe I also got a Prismacolor Silver one. So let's compare that to the Tombow Silver, which I have here. So Tombow Silver. This is a very nice, cool silver. By cool, I mean that it's got more of a cooler tone on the color wheel to it. Let's try the Prismacolor. Okay, so it's very close in color, and they're both kind of equally shiny. They both kind of have a more metallic look to them. So I guess it really doesn't matter which one. These are kind of on equal stead in my book. I got this, I've never tried this brand before. Primo, is that Bianco? Primo Blanco white charcoal. I tried a couple of these in the store, and this one was like the most white. And I'm always looking for white pencils to help add highlights and things like that. So it's useful to have to fix mistakes, to add highlights and things. Okay, does not like that, whatever one that was. I think this was the Verithin that I'm putting it on top of, so it covers up the Verithin. So that's a nice thing to consider as well when you're combining these materials and you think about what the purpose is. You know, one of the things I would definitely use this for would be like to add a highlight in the eye, and that's going to require me to go over something I've already drawn. This white charcoal can cover up the Col-Erase, which is funny because I was kind of leaning towards the Verithin for my purposes, but it does not like going over that one so much. So might have to take that in consideration when I do my next piece. Here's one I already had. This is one that I know a lot of people use, General's Charcoal White. It's about the same on the Col-Erase. So in summary, I'd say the General's Charcoal White and the Primo Blanco probably about the same. But this one does feel nicer in my hand. I'm not really crazy about this wood feeling. So this one was really fun and out of the box for me. I got some really dark, thick pencils. These are Kimberly 9XXB So very, very dark. Very, very dark pencils. And you can make a very nice dark. Oh, look at that. That's gorgeous. Oh my God. So dark. So these would be used for very, very final marks, because obviously you try to erase that. You're not going to get very far. Let's try making some smudges with this. I also liked it because typically I use mechanical pencils, so the fun part about this is that I can get some big areas of shading if I wanted to. Oh, look at that. Very nice. So let's say I'm like coloring in a claw and I want to get a nice gradient going. Look at that. That is beautiful. Take my tortilla here. Very nice. So that's why I got these very dark 9XXB pencils, so I can make really dark marks like that. Typically, I'll just use a mechanical pencil like this one, and these either have 2B or 4B lead in them. I color coded them with nail polish to help remind me which one is which, but I can't remember. So let's just compare. I mean, it's dark, but it's not as dark. So my plan is to use the mechanical pencil to make those to make those crisp lines I need. And then I can go in with one of the Kimberlys and fill it in with a gradient. I'm applying a lot of pressure to the tip of this claw so I can make it nice and dark, and then I'm just gradually feathering it out to the edge, making it nice and light. Let me take the tortilla, smudge it a little bit, or you can use your finger, but this is more precise. And there we go. Nice gradient. There you go. Really nice gradient. Last but not least, I got some new gouache paint. And I picked out these two colors because these are colors I find that I typically have to blend constantly myself, so I just wanted to have them on hand. I got raw sienna and Naples yellow, which kind of just looks like a cream to me. So there's the raw sienna. Very nice. Take a little bit of that. Oh, that's gorgeous. And then we'll take a little bit of the Naples yellow and have a look at that. It's a little bit more watery. But there's the color. So like a nice creamy color, which is a great base for lots of different creatures that I do. And I find myself having to make this one over and over and over again and using a lot of paint just to try to get something like that. So this will be a really good base to start with from now on. Alright, so those are my new art supplies. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. If you want to see more of this kind of thing, just leave a comment and let me know. Thank you very much for watching, and go and create and make fun art.